So I watched the new Super Mario movie and I wanted to give my thoughts on it because wow, I have a lot to say about it. This will be a spoiler-free review at first, and then I'll let you know when I get into spoilers. Let's be honest, we were all scared when we found out that Illumination was making this movie. And we were all even more scared when we found out that Chris Pratt was voicing Mario. But then the first trailer came out and most of our worries went straight out the window. And now, I finally watched it. And is the movie good? Yeah, it's pretty good, if you're a Mario fan. If you're a fan of Mario, then this is probably one of the best things ever. But if you're not a Mario fan and haven't played any of the games, then there's a really high chance you won't like this movie. So that's probably why the Rotten Tomatoes score is so low. But anyway, I'm not one of those people. I'm a big Mario fan, so of course I was gonna like this movie. Anyway, let's start with the positives of this movie. The cast did a really good job voicing these characters. Charlie Day as Luigi is very good casting, and he did really well as Luigi. Anya Taylor-Joy also did a good job as Peach. Keegan-Michael Key was amazing as Toad, and it is very clear that the best was definitely Jack Black as Bowser. He was born to play the role, and you could tell that he had a blast with this role. But I am very surprised that I'm saying this, but Chris Pratt as Mario was actually pretty good. Like when he was talking, I wasn't thinking of Chris Pratt, I was thinking of Mario. So yeah, the trailers really did him dirty because he was actually pretty good in this movie. The jokes in this movie were actually not bad in Illumination standards. And of course, the animation is out of this world gorgeous. Like, are we sure Illumination made this? Cause this does not seem like them. Also, there are a lot of references that made me happy as a Nintendo fan. And there's just something about seeing Mario finally back on the big screen and actually being done right that made me pretty happy. But yeah, there are some negatives about this movie. Seth Rogen as Donkey Kong isn't that great, and he was definitely the weakest link of the cast. When he was talking, I wasn't thinking of Donkey Kong, but instead, I was thinking of Seth Rogen. He also did his iconic laugh, which was pretty annoying. That's not a spoiler, by the way, that's just a warning to prepare your ears for that goofy-ass laugh. His comedic timing was pretty good though. Also, the pacing here is kinda weird. Everything goes by so fast and there really isn't enough time to develop these characters. The story is really simple, and I like that it's simple. But at the same time, it also feels weird and super rushed. But yeah, I'm gonna have to talk about spoilers now so I can say the rest of the positives and negatives. So yeah, if you want to see the movie but haven't seen it yet, click off the video now. I'll give you some time to do it. Time's up. Anyway, Luigi hurt Shy Guy, 0 out of 10 move. There's this one conflict that Mario has with his dad where he thinks that his dad looks at him as a joke and a disappointment. And it sounds interesting, but it's barely explored throughout the movie. There's this one scene where Mario and Donkey Kong are having an argument, and DK says that his dad is gonna look at him as a failure, and all of a sudden Mario says that his dad feels the same way about him. And I'm just here watching like, oh yeah, I forgot about this. And also at the end where they defeat Bowser after fighting him in Brooklyn, which was also kind of weird, but whatever I guess. But after Mario and Luigi defeat Bowser, Mario's dad runs up to him and they say they love each other, and it's all cute and heartwarming, and it doesn't feel earned because the movie barely explored it. And when it happened, I was kind of like, oh, this conflict is over now. Okay then. Don't get me wrong, I wasn't expecting a deep, compelling, emotional story from this movie. In fact, that's probably for the best. But why have this conflict if you're barely gonna explore it throughout the movie? I also kinda don't like how Luigi was captured for like 90% of the movie, cause I wanted to see more of him, but it also robs us of his brother dynamic with Mario. Sure, there is some of that in the movie, but I wanted to see them explore the Mushroom Kingdom together and do other things and stuff. We also didn't get a lot of Toad in the movie. Like, Keegan-Michael Key's performance as Toad is really good, and I kinda want to see more of it. Also, there were a couple of pop songs. Honestly, I'm not too surprised because it's Illumination, and it can't be an Illumination movie without the inclusion of pop songs. They weren't that big of a deal, but they were still kind of weird. And finally, one of the biggest negatives is that this movie is not audience friendly. Sure, kids and Mario fans are gonna love this movie, but what about the rest of the audience? People who aren't Mario fans are gonna dislike this movie because they feel left out because the movie failed to appeal to them as well. A main goal for video games movie is to satisfy the fans, but also appeal to newer audiences. But I feel like the Mario movie did not do that. But anyway, back to the positives. Bowser's song for Peach was extremely hilarious and I was actually dying watching that scene. The Easter eggs and references were really cool, like the Jumpman cameo. I literally clapped every time Shy Guy showed up on screen. The soundtrack for this movie is amazing. I had a dumb smile on my face every time a song from the games was playing. They used the item blocks really well, and the DK rap was in this movie, and I was literally jumping out of my seat when that happened. The DK Cruz cameo was awesome, even though Chunky is supposed to be dead. And the end credit scene, oh my god, we're finally getting Yoshi, and he's being voiced by The Rock. Let's fucking go! Okay, I was kidding on that last part, but Yoshi was teased in the end credits, and he's not being voiced by The Rock. Thank God. Overall, this movie has a lot of problems, but I still love it. I was smiling throughout the whole movie, except when Seth Rogen did his goofy ass laugh. And it's honestly my favorite video game movie. It's not the best video game adaptation, but it's still good. Is it Illumination's best movie? I don't know. I gotta rewatch the first Despicable Me. 8 out of 10, totally not biased. And it's an extremely fun movie for families and Mario fans. Also, I saw this review and I thought it was stupid. Illumination's only bad movie. Has this person ever seen Hop? Have they ever seen the first Minions? Have they ever seen The Secret Life of